Hello and welcome to my music channel and the wonderful world of the disco era. The wonderful world if you experienced it. And it was truly a wonderful time and a great era. I made the transformation, as I mentioned on my first show back in 1975, when I went from long hair to short hair. This is me in 1975. And this is when I made the transition in 1975. That's what they call a polyester Nick shirt at the time. A lot of shirts were made with patterns and designs, and the collars were very, very long. But that's when I made my transformation. Now, Disco Demolition Night, that's what we're going to talk about, and that's what I'm going to show you. Disco Demolition Night was a Major League Baseball promotion on Thursday, July 12th, 1979, at Comiskey Park in Chicago, Illinois, that ended in a riot. It ended in a riot. At the climax of the event, a crate filled of disco records were blown up on the field in between the Chicago White Sox and the Detroit Tigers. Many of those in attendance at that time, they just came just to see the records get blown up. They didn't even care about the baseball game. After the explosion, they all rushed out on the field and they started to riot. So what was that all about? And the fans destroyed the whole field. So the game was forfeited. And they accomplished absolutely nothing. You'll see by the video. They looked like a bunch of fools. And we, who are into disco, we're just looking at them and shaking our heads and say, what are they trying to prove? They proved absolutely nothing. What, they blew up some records? Because disco had dominated everything. Disco was all over. It was an explosion. It was the music. All the radio stations were playing it. It was the dress, the fashion. It was class. It was a great era. And unless you went through that era, you really don't know or can know what I'm talking about. Only by what you heard. But I'm telling you, it was one of the greatest eras that there ever was. And probably ever will be. And I'm glad that I was a part of it. Now let me show you this clip of Disco Demolition. Watch how they act.
Disco sucks! Disco sucks! Disco sucks! July 12th, 1979. A twilight doubleheader at Comiskey Park. The White Sox versus the Tigers. Between games, 24-year-old Steve Dahl, a popular disc jockey from Chicago rock station Loop 98, would take the field at the head of his so-called anti-disco army to blow up thousands of disco records.
Every day I would play a disco record and drag the needle across it, and scratch it and then blow it up. But I tapped into something. There was an undercurrent of hatred for disco.
In a few minutes, we're going to attempt the world's largest disco demolition. Admission that night was less than $1. If you also contributed an album.
We have people come, 98 cents, you get in, bring a disco record, boom.
Unusual promotions were nothing new at Comiskey in the late 1970s. White Sox owner Bill Veeck, one of the few owners enshrined in Cooperstown, was baseball's P.T. Barnum. It was Veeck who commissioned Comiskey's exploding scoreboard. It was Veeck who in 1951 sent Eddie Goodell to the plate. By 1979, his son Mike was running the White Sox promotions department.
He's like, what is this disco demolition? I said, we're just going to blow up some disco records, and there's a guy in town who's red hot, and it'll draw some people. He was like,
I really did think this is going to be embarrassing. At most, there will be 5,000 people that will show up for this thing, and I'm going to look like an idiot.
He was worried that even if we doubled their attendance, take it to 12,000, stadium's still going to look empty. Little did we know.
This is now officially the world's largest anti-disco rally.
There's throngs of people coming. There's the wrongs, and they're all carrying albums.
Late Bill Beck told me Sox Park had 70,000. First time Satchel Paige pitched, there had to be 70,000 people in that ballpark. I don't know how they got in.
You could see people coming through the portholes out in left field. There was holes cut out in the wall, and people were coming up through the holes.
People were swiping pops out of my tray, and there wasn't anything you could do about it. You couldn't move. You couldn't go chase someone because you couldn't get anywhere.
It seemed like there was kegs in every aisle of the ballpark that night, you know, because everybody was drunk.
I said, you ought to have the pot concession. But what I just smelled down there, I think there must be a mass load of pot here in this ballpark.
Well, so we took all the disco records that you brought tonight. We got them in a giant box, and we're going to blow them up real good.
They were supposed to just put them into a bin for Steve Dahl to blow up, but obviously people brought more than one.
Even before the game started, people were flinging records all over the place.
The first disc that was thrown missed me by a couple of inches. Missed the right side of my head by a couple of inches.
It was a real dangerous situation. I mean, I couldn't understand why they didn't delay the game.
They're going, Rusty, disco, you know, Sox is being real loud, and we're going to kill disco today. Disco is dead, you know, this and that. And I'm going, you know, I was just in discotheque last night. How are you going to achieve that, right?
The Tigers won Game 1 4-1. Then it was time for Steve Dahl, the disc jockey, to blow up some records. He took to the field in a Jeep at the command of his ragged army. His troops greeted him as a conquering hero as he seized the microphone.
All these clowns who paid 98 cents to get in their ballpark were going to have their moment of glory, and I thought it would happen very rapidly.
1, 2, 3, boom!
I mean, there was a flash and a stream of broken albums. Like, everybody just was stunned.
Center field disappeared. I mean, there was a crater in center field. It was unbelievable.
With the crate and its contents in shards on the outfield grass, Dahl enjoyed a victory lap of sorts and left the field. He could not have known that disco demolition was just getting started. As White Sox pitcher Ken Kravick went to the mound to warm up for the second game, a few fans abandoned their seats and headed for the field.
All of a sudden, you know, one person right on the field and another and another.
Left field, right field, box seats.
It was almost like a bunch of lemmings.
It just like the floodgates opened up.
We saw that there was no security stopping us, and we just said, hey, let's do it.
Jimmy Pearsall back at the ballpark, and I'm sure glad, and I hope they don't let you people see what's going on here at Comiskey Park. One of the saddest sights I've ever seen in a ballpark in my life. This garbage of demolishing a record has turned into a fiasco.
You were outraged.
I was just, you know, Major League Baseball is Major League Baseball. It isn't a rat race. A bunch of idiots who probably had never gone to a game in their life, hurting the game of baseball and hurting baseball in Chicago.
The baseball is no longer the story. It's this crowd, and the White Sox may have to forfeit the second game.
Watching the fans slide down that foul pole was like, oh my God.
I mean, the field was on fire. You know, it was on fire. I've never seen a baseball field on fire before.
To see this happening is a disgrace. It was the worst promotion in the history of the world.
This is Bill Beck. Please clear the park, or we'll have to call up the game and close the park.
I saw people steal home plate, dig up home plate. They dug up home plate.
I saw a lot of people running the bases and having simulated baseball games, which was kind of cool.
They were ripping the field apart.
Kids jumping up and down on the tarp.
I'm pretty sure that I saw two people having sex behind third base.
Not even Harry Carey, then the White Sox announcer, could control the frenzied crowd.
Can you hear me out there? Holy cow! What say we all regain our seats so we can play baseball again?
My friends and I went and sat in the Tigers dugout. We were passing around the Jack Daniels, and one of the coaches came out and he said, son, give me that bottle. And my Yes, sir. I gave him the bottle, and he goes, "Now, son, get out of our dugout."
After nearly 20 minutes, Carey and Bill Veeck tried again, beseeching those who'd stormed the field to return to their seats. They even broke into song. Their efforts were futile, as was the incongruously polite tone of a message on the scoreboard. The fans simply wouldn't surrender the field for the second game.
Now the police are out on the field. Boy, oh boy.
They rode in on their horses, and the kids just ran for the hills.
After nearly 40 minutes of mayhem, Comiskey Park's field was pockmarked with divots and debris.
You watch it, you see puddles of where beer and stuff was wasted on the field. There was glass broken out there. It was a mess.
With the anti-disco revelers finally off the diamond, the grounds crew attempted to make the field playable, even as Tigers manager Sparky Anderson argued it would be impossible to play. Dahl's Army had demolished disco, and in the process, Comiskey's field.
The umpire-in-chief and the president of the league has declared that the playing conditions on the field will not permit them to play the second ball game.
The White Sox were forced to forfeit. There were 39 reported arrests, but only minor injuries, among what some say was the largest ever White Sox crowd.
It was a disastrous evening from my standpoint. There are no number of tickets that you could sell that would make it worthwhile.
Dad thought I got hustled. He was always of the opinion that the station knew that it was going to be a lot bigger than I had any idea.
I always took one great offense more than anything else. Don't blame us. We did a promotion that overworked.
You got to give them credit, though. I mean, they did get a big crowd at the ballpark.
That's stupid. You're stupid for saying that. I want to tell you right now.
You talk to people in the radio business, and they'll tell you that overnight, stations stopped being disco stations.
The Bee Gees actually blamed me for killing disco, which I felt was a victory for me. I took that as a win.
We did a promotion that caused a forfeiture. I regret that. As a cultural event, I'm kind of proud of it.
So what did they accomplish? Absolutely nothing. They accomplished nothing and made complete asses out of themselves and ended up going there for one thing and ended up destroying the field and rioting. I remember that day as if it was yesterday. We were just shaking our heads and saying, look at these asses, look at these idiots. What are they trying to prove? You know, nothing. That long live rock, it was ridiculous. I mean, as you could see by the video, it was absolutely ridiculous. They accomplished nothing. I mean, we just laughed at them. You know, they were just a bunch of idiots. All right, I'm going to play a song, and this song is the extended play, and it's only 8 minutes. 8 minutes. This is a song by the John Davis Orchestra. Now, John Davis actually used an orchestra for this disco number. This was a big disco number in 1978. And this is one of the groups that actually used an orchestra. A lot of them used synthesizers back in the day that sounded like an orchestra. But he actually used an orchestra for the song. So this extended play is only 8 minutes. This is John Davis and the Monster Orchestra in Ain't That Enough. I can tell you this with certainty, because I was there. There was not one spot on the dance floor that was open when that song played. I mean, the dance floor was packed. I mean, you just couldn't move, you know. It was a great song. 1978, the John Davis Monster Orchestra in Ain't That Enough. Now I'm going to play just one more song. This one is not that long. This is by a group called Voyager, and the name of the song is called Souvenirs. This was a big hit for them. And again, this is another song that the dance floor was packed when this song came on. If the DJ had a good sound system, this song sounded fantastic, you know, echoing through the club. It was really, it's something that you don't forget, you know. So this is Souvenirs by the group Voyager. Great song. Great song. They also had another big hit after this one, which I'm going to play on another show. And that name of that song was called From East to West. And that was another big hit for them. You know, something that came to mind is, you know those napkins that they put under the drink at the bar or the club? I can't tell you how many of those napkins got phone numbers back in the day. Because, of course, back in the day, there was no cell phones. So everybody wrote a girl's phone number on those napkins. I remember one time, this girl gave me her phone number, and I lost the napkin. I lost the napkin. The next week, I went back to the same club, and she was there. So she came up to me. She goes, "I thought you were going to call me." And I said to Nicole, I remembered her name, thank God. I said, "Nicole," I said, "I'm so sorry." I said, "I lost the napkin with your phone number on it." She goes, "Yeah, sure." I said, "I did. I really did." But we ended up going out for a little while. But yeah, so many of those napkins had so many phone numbers on them. And the guys were always losing them. You know, they were half crocked. You know, they'd be hanging out of their pocket. They'd fall on the ground. You'd find them in the parking lot, you know. "Oh, Jamie, 973, and then the number, let me give her a call, you know. Funny. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this show. We went from idiots to two great songs. And let me know if you like shows like this, and I will continue them. Subscribe to my show if you like, and hit the like button. And leave a comment. Comments always help, you know. I'm always open for suggestions. You know, I keep the show short and play a couple of songs, play a couple of classics, you know. These are all 12-inch records that I played so far, the extended version. Because, again, you lose so much when you only hear the 45. They cut so much out back then, you know. That's why they wanted you to buy the extended version, which was the 12-inch, and back then it was like $2.99, which wasn't really that expensive back then, you know. And it had the whole song on it, and that's what the DJs used to use, the 12 inches, you know. All right, so I'll see you on my next show, where I'm going to be playing some more classics. So join me then. Until then, this is Ralph Mucci signing off for the wonderful world of the disco era on my music channel. Have a good one. Good night, everybody, and God bless.